Hey guys, so the Dragon Ball Legends 7th anniversary has now concluded, and we are currently in the middle of the after party. It seems like they're pushing a very rough Majin Buu saga theme where Super Vegito got his platinum equipment, and they're doing this entire kind of like mini Super Vegito celebration. I do think we could potentially see some kind of Majin Buu saga character release next week to finish out the month. I do think there is going to be a new character release next week. I guess it's possible there won't be, but my bet is that there will be next week a new character to finish out July. But this video is going to be talking about what kind of buffs and sagas and parts of the series I think could be seeing spotlight moving forward through Legends Fest. I'm probably not going to talk about Legends Fest in this video. As we get closer to the Legends Fest celebration, which of course starts in November, I will be doing dedicated videos talking about what I think Legends Fest could be. I've talked about this a little bit before, but Part 1, my money probably is going to be on some kind of mixture of movies and Daima. I'm thinking right now, but obviously we have a long way to go before then. So we'll talk more about that as we get closer. But what I want to do first is kind of recap what received buffs over the course of the past year and what I think this game typically does. And this is a pattern that's pretty obvious, but the game typically likes to buff a certain period of the series, whether it's Buu Saga, whether it's GT, whether it's movies or Saiyan Saga or whatever. As they usually take a certain saga, a certain arc, a certain period of the series, buff that for a short period of time during one campaign, and then the next campaign they move on. And they don't typically revisit the same saga multiple times. There's a few exceptions to that, of course, but that is the general rule that this game likes to follow. So let's go through what we saw receive buffs, I think, starting with the 6th anniversary up through now, because that'll be the last year of content that we received. So 6th anniversary part 1, we had kind of a fusion warrior theme, of course, the fusing Super Vegito fusing Gogeta Blue. So we kind of got Majin Buu Saga, and that of course followed up with part 2 Majin Buu Saga stuff as well, but like kind of like a loose movies theme here as well, and that kind of followed up again. Parts 1 and 2 were kind of intertwined, right? Majin Buu Saga fusing Super Vegito, Majin Buu Saga Ultimate Gohan, movies fusing Gogeta Blue, movies God Goku, right? That's pretty self-explanatory. Then we got Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to finish up the anniversary as sort of the big fusion warrior character. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, I wouldn't say really kind of focused on any specific tag. I guess if we could point to one, it probably would just be GT, because they did spend a lot of 2024, at least the first half of the year, touching the GT tag and buffing that up. And then following that up, we did get Omega for the after party to follow the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta release. So that concluded the GT buffs that this tag received for the year. Next, we move into one of the darker periods in this game's history, which is the Z Movies celebration. This is a celebration that lasted all of August and all of September. 2 months of the celebration. And I think in theory, in concept, it's not a bad it's not a bad concept for a celebration. But in actuality, I think they did a horrible job with the celebration. But nonetheless, of course, the main focus of the celebration was to buff Z Movies characters. We got transforming legendary Super Saiyan Broly from the Second Coming movie. We got the Tree of Might Goku LF character who followed, and then followed this up with the Ultra Turles release. And then in between here, we kind of got like the Piccolo and Goku from the Dead Zone movie with Garlic Jr. We got a free Bojack. We got the Broly Second Coming free-to-play Goku. We got like the full Crusher core. So a lot of these movies characters came out, and then we of course got equips for older characters. I think Lord Slug got an equip. I think the Purple Turles got an equip. So they did not touch anything from the cooler movies for some reason, but a lot of the Z movies, of course, got buffed through this campaign. Next, we move into October, where we got some Majin Buu Saga stuff. We got the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks legendary Legends Limited character. He came out next to the Buu and Hercule, and then of course Ultra Majin Vegeta came out at the end of that. Then we moved into buffing some Daima stuff. This was the introduction of Daima, the series, and the game obviously wanted to kind of notice that and at least acknowledge that Daima existed. So they gave us the free-to-play Goku. We got the other banner with the Blue Daima Goku and Glorio. And then we segued into Legends Fest, where we got future buffs. So the first buff, of course, was going to be future transforming Vegeta Blue and Rosé. And then part 2 is more Buu Saga stuff with Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Then we got more Daima stuff with Daima Super Saiyan Goku here. Legends Fest and Anniversary typically doesn't really have like one main theme that they follow throughout the entirety. It's more so just the monthly celebrations. Like, okay, we got the movies, Z Movies campaign that only did Z movie stuff. But after this, we moved into more future stuff. We got Future Gohan and Trunks, and then Fusion Zamasu at the end of the month. Then in February, they did give us a Cell Saga celebration. So we got this Instant Transmission Goku, Super Trunks, and the Ultra Perfect Cell. March was Daima month. I'm sure everybody has PTSD from this one. We got Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. We got Majin Buu, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Majin Buu. And then in April, we went into OG Dragon Ball with Demon King Piccolo and OG Kid Goku. And then moved into Anniversary. Anniversary, when you compare this Anniversary to any prior major celebration, I think they more clearly cut up each part into buffing one particular team, which I thought was pretty cool, actually. Because we went from Universe Reps having basically 0 to being the best team in the game. Then we went from Saiyan Saga having 0 to being the best team in the game. Then we went from Frieza Saga having nothing to being the best team in the game. So we buffed 3 different eras of the series in the Anniversary, and the teams all went from nothing to insane. Universe Reps, Saiyan Saga, and Frieza Saga. So we sort of covered 3 eras of the series in the Anniversary. And now they're doing, again, like this kind of mini Super Vegito after party theme. And I think they could follow this up in July. I have the calendars pulled up here. Next week on the 29th, I think they could reveal the next LF character. And then they'll probably come out on the 30th or the 31st, depending on how they want to handle the end of the month release here. But that's what I'm thinking for July. So we really have August, September, and October to talk about in this video. And I do have a few tags / eras that I have pulled up here on my notepad just to quickly discuss that I think probably have the best chance of getting buffs in this period that's kind of like in between major celebration, right? It's in between the Anniversary and Legends Fest. And again, once we get closer to Legends Fest, I'll probably do a separate video talking about that. So there's 2 pretty obvious ones to me. The first one is going to be GT. GT is a tag that has not really been touched at all since Omega Shenron came out a full year ago. So they spent a lot of 2024 buffing GT. We got Universal Spirit Bomb GT Goku. And then right after that, we got Super 17. Then like a month and a half later, we got Super Baby 2. Then we got Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta for the Anniversary. Then we got Omega Shenron. So they kind of just gave us every single major villain and the biggest character in GT and the ultimate finale character of GT all within like 6 months. It was pretty crazy. They really just spammed the hell out of GT. There is one character that is like very obviously missing from this, and that is Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And there is one other character that we really haven't gotten a standalone character of since 2019, and that is Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And there is a character that is due for a Zenkai Awakening, and it's the Tag Force. So I think we very easily could see a monthly celebration. This is something that I've been talking about for months now, where it's a middle of the month LF Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, right? This is still to this day the only standalone Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta that exists in the game. It's just 6 years ago was the last Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. So I think this guy definitely, at the very least, is deserving of a monthly LF. So I think I could see a monthly LF Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And then the end of the month, I could definitely see them giving us an Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I think Super Saiyan 4 Goku from GT deserves an Ultra. Basically just a remake of this purple one, I think is what I would pick. They could do the full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku one that fights Omega. We do, of course, have the LF version. This Goku, this Super Saiyan 4 Goku, his LF is the Dragon Fist, but this is specifically the Dragon Fist that he does against Ice Shenron. We actually don't have in the game, 7 years in, we don't have the Dragon Fist that Super Saiyan 4 Goku does versus Omega Shenron. That is not in the game. So to me, that is something that they're clearly saving for something. And I think if they were going to give us an Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku, to me, I probably think it would be from the Baby Saga, but they very easily also could do one from the Shadow Dragon Saga. Labeled, you can see these guys have different names. We have Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and then we have Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Goku is what they call the, stupid name, what they call the Shadow Dragon Saga, like full power version of Super Saiyan 4 Goku. We could get a Baby Saga one, or we could get one from the Shadow Dragon Saga that does the Dragon Fist versus Omega to at least get that into the game. To me, I think I'd prefer to have that Dragon Fist be an LF animation because that just, I think, deserves an LF. And the main reason why I think we should get a Baby Saga, right, this guy's considered the Baby Saga version. Super Baby Saga GT. I don't know why the text is weird. There it goes. The main reason why I want this Goku to get the Ultra is simply because we don't have the iconic shot of Goku with like his 1 foot up on the rock when he first transforms into Super Saiyan 4. That very obviously to me is going to be the Ultra art of an eventual GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So I think that's what we should see for a GT themed celebration. And then to go along with that, we can get a Zenkai. I know, guys, Zenkais are now considered to be an extremely rare occurrence. They forgot how to do Zenkais, I guess. I don't know. they forgot Zenkais were a mechanic in the game. But a middle of the month, LF Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And then like maybe the next week, we could get a Zenkai for the tag Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta from Legends Fest. And then at the end of the month, an Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku from the Baby Saga. That would be a pretty crazy monthly celebration, I think. It really would be. And then they could also give us some unique equipments for characters. We have some older GT characters that don't have Zenkais. Like this Super Saiyan Goku doesn't have a Zenkai yet, which is kind of crazy. This guy used to be like insane. I remember this guy dropped and you would run him next to the blue Super Saiyan Bardock. And this guy would actually like one-shot people with blast cards. It was kind of ridiculous. So they could do something like that. They could Zenkai maybe like Nova Shenron, Ice Shenron, give a unique equipment to like Zenkai's Super Baby 2 potentially. But there's a lot they could do with the GT tag here. I know a lot of the 2024 year was spent buffing GT for sure, but you know, a full year with essentially nothing for the team besides, I guess, Cell and Frieza, who you're definitely not running on GT anyway. This team deserves something at this point. And the fact that we don't have an Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku, one of the more popular characters in the game that doesn't yet have an Ultra, it's got to be coming at some point. So that I think could be a really, really good monthly celebration. I don't think they typically like to do like major headlining celebration LF character Zenkais during monthly celebrations. Like, sure, I would expect the Tag Force to get their Zenkai during Anniversary or Legends Fest. But again, going off of the fact, let's just go to Legends Limited only non-Zenkai. Going off the fact that they had ample opportunities to Zenkai Revival Gohan, Red UI Goku, the Tag 4s, even something like Beast Gohan. None of these guys got a Zenkai during the, you know, the Ultra 7th anniversary, which to me, the biggest fault of the anniversary, besides part 1, is just the utter lack of Zenkai Awakenings. They had so many like banger options here to do, and they just ignored them all. So at this point, I am expecting to get some of these like big hitter characters like the Tag 4s, Red UI Goku, Blue Beast, Revival Gohan. It's probably going to happen during just like a monthly celebration. So I could see this happening for sure. At maybe something like August. We go into August. There's a GT celebration in August. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta drops here. Tag 4 Zenkai drops here. Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku drops here. And that's the GT celebration. Of course, like sprinkled in here, we could get unique equips. We could get other things. Like, let's go back to the GT tag real quick. Let's just refresh this. So who could get a unique equip for GT? They could do like a Super Baby 2 unique equip or something, right? A Spirit Bomb Goku unique equip. And then we could do, again, like 1% Zenkai for GT Super Saiyan Goku. Could be something they do as well. So there's a lot of things that they could do for GT, and I think it being a year since we got pretty much anything major from this from GT could be an indication that they are cooking something for GT. So GT is the first kind of like era of Dragon Ball that I have on my list here. The second one is a much bigger one, and it is just movies. Movies, I don't know if we've ever been this long in the game without getting any kind of movie representation whatsoever. The last character that has the sagas from the movies tag to release is Beast Gohan. We're talking 7 months ago. 7 months ago was our last movies character. I don't think there's been another point. I mean, you guys might be able to correct me if I'm wrong with this, but I can't imagine there's another point in the entire history of Dragon Ball Legends where we've gone 7 months without any sagas from the movies character releasing at all. That's ridiculous. Think about it. You know, sagas from the movies isn't like, oh, it's the Frieza saga, or it's even like the Buu saga, which is the biggest saga. The movies, let's think about this. There's 13 Z movies. There's Battle of Gods, ROF, Superhero, Dragon Ball Super Brawl. Like, dude, there's so, look how many characters are on this tag. Sagas from the movies. Look at this. We've gone 7 months with nothing. So I got to imagine there's something coming for the movies team. We just talked about the fact that the Z movie celebration last year, lasting 2 months, that was just horribly executed. That was bad for the game. I really do think that the Z movie celebration really, really damaged the game a lot, right? Again, we start with Broly. I guess technically we started with the free-to-play Goten from the movie, but this is the first like premium character released during the celebration. Then we got Goku and Piccolo and Garlic Jr. from the Dead Zone movie. Then we got Tree of Might Goku and Ultra Turtles and the Crusher Core, and then, you know, we got like free-to-play, or not free-to-play, 1% Sparking Videl on the Broly banner. Like, they just did not think this through. Let's just be honest. They did not think this through. And I've criticized them amply for this entire campaign. This was a terrible, terrible execution. Again, the idea I thought was fine. We're going to dedicate 2 months to a Z movie celebration. I think that idea is fine, considering there are 13 DBZ movies. Technically 15 if you want to count ROF and Battle of Gods as Z movies, which they were technically branded as Z movies, but there's a lot of Dragon Ball Z movies, so there's a lot that they can choose from. Like, I think that's fine. The execution was terrible. The execution was literally like a 1 out of 10. The Z movie celebration, it was horrible. Horrible. But there's a lot we could get from movies, and there is, in particular, I'm not really going to talk about Super Gogeta in this one, just because I think Super Gogeta probably is looking like something they would do for Legends Fest at this point. I know everybody wants a Synchro Gauge Super Gogeta. People have been talking about Synchro Gauge Super Gogeta since the 6th anniversary, and I'm with you. I'm still waiting for one. I would love to see that. I think Super Gogeta needs something. The last time we got representation for him in the game was Pikkon, who revives into Gogeta. And then, of course, we got the Platinum equipment for Super Gogeta during the Legends Fest. But yeah, Super Gogeta has been untouched for a while. And I think Legends Fest Part 1, again, I talked about, I think my current pick for Legends Fest right now, Part 1, but again, this will probably change, is Synchro Gauge fusing Super Gogeta and Mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Daima. But I would imagine that during just like a monthly celebration, they probably wouldn't do a Super Gogeta, especially a Synchro Gauge version, because that's something that to me speaks major celebration. But there is another character that they haven't touched in 2 years that's kind of puzzling to me, and it's Orange Piccolo. Orange Piccolo not being touched in 2 years, and the fact that this guy is technically a reviving character. We don't have a standalone Orange Piccolo in the game, right? We have 2 standalone Beast Gohans. We have the blue one and the Ultra one, and then we have a transforming one, the red one. This is our only copy of Orange Piccolo that exists. Our only version of Orange Piccolo that exists is a reviving Power Awakening Piccolo into Orange Piccolo. So technically, we actually have more Power Awakening Piccolos in the game than Orange Piccolo. We could, you could say you have 2 Power Awakening Piccolos, right? We have the purple one and then the one that revives into Orange Piccolo. I think we really just need a standalone version of the character at this point. It's been 2 years since this guy came out. Over 2 years now, right? This guy came out Part 2 of the 5th anniversary, and very exciting reveal. Came out next to Gamma 1 and 2, but Orange Piccolo needs more representation, not only in this game, but also in Dokkan as well. But Orange Piccolo needs something, man. He really does. Orange Piccolo, standalone LF, middle of the month for a movie celebration. I can definitely see this. Another slew of characters that we have not seen for a long time are the Cooler movie characters. Red Final Form Cooler. This guy is definitely in line for a Zenkai. I mean, he's one of the older LFs that haven't gotten a Zenkai yet. We have characters like this Gohan. This is an anniversary character. This is the second oldest character in the game right now that has not received a Zenkai Awakening after Future Gohan. So they can kind of do another Z movies themed thing where they Zenkai the Red Cooler, Revival Gohan, and then maybe we get like a LF metal cooler. The last metal cooler that we got, and I've said this many times now, this is the last summonable metal cooler that we received. And I'm pretty sure this is a 2020 character. 5 years old. 5 years was the last metal cooler. 5 years. 5 years, dude. So we need a new version of metal cooler. We don't have any characters in the entire game from the World's Strongest movie, which I don't think they would probably give us Dr. Wheelo. He's probably too big to put in the game in terms of a playable character. Maybe supporter when they introduce the supporter feature, but the World's Strongest Goku, the Goku from that movie, does a lot of cool stuff. I would like a Goku from that movie. I don't know how many Gokus they're going to try and give us in between now and Legends Fest, because we just got like 50 billion Gokus during the anniversary. But in terms of just like viable movie characters, where's that other Goku? This guy. This is Super Saiyan Goku from the Cooler movie, who fought the Final Form Cooler. If they give this guy a Zenkai, I mean, I don't know if now is the greatest time to do this, considering we just got a Super Saiyan Goku. But this guy definitely needs like a new character. Maybe they could just Zenkai this one. But there's a lot they could do from movies, like Orange Piccolo. Broly movie to me is more so like major celebration stuff. So I don't think they would just do. I don't think they would just do like Super Saiyan Gogeta as like an LF character from the Broly movie during just a monthly celebration, unless it's like an Ultra or something. But even then, it's like, isn't that just like major celebration? I don't know. But I think the coolers definitely need stuff. I think a Goku potentially from the World's Strongest, which has zero representation. I mean, we got Dead Zone. Like, why not do the World's Strongest next? I've seen people throw out false Super Saiyan Goku from the Slug movie. That one is a little bit tricky just because there's like a bunch of, I guess, controversies around that one. The false Super Saiyan is essentially just Toei's interpretation of what Super Saiyan was going to be, because that movie actually debuted before Goku went Super Saiyan on Namek in the anime. So they kind of created their own interpretation of what Super Saiyan was going to be before the official version dropped. And so that's why you never see that version represented anywhere ever. So I don't know if they even want to use that version of Goku. But we also have like Uppercut Goku from the Broly movie, the 8th Broly movie. So last year, again, we got this Broly. Where is he? This Broly as an LF character. This is movie 10 Broly from Second Coming. This is movie 8 Broly, the Ultra Broly. But the Goku, the Uppercut Goku that we had during 2018, where is he? 2018 Uppercut Goku. He's probably right in front of me. I'm just missing him right here. Uppercut. This is for like the very beginning of the game. Uppercut Goku. This guy needs a new character for sure. I think maybe a new version of Bojack we could definitely see as well. Maybe like an LF Bojack or something. A new version of Revival Gohan from that movie. Like, there's so many things they can pull from the movies, but for me, the big one is Orange Piccolo. And the cooler movies are the ones, because the cooler movies in particular, they intentionally seemingly skipped last year during the Z movie celebration. Like, they covered pretty much every single Z movie except for the cooler movies. So I don't know. We also don't have an LF Janemba. That could be something we see as well. And I guess potentially maybe a remake of the Dragon Fist, this guy, but I don't think that's super high up on the list right now. But there's a lot they can do for movies. I could definitely see that happening in between now and Legends Fest. And I think for me, those really are the two biggest things, the two biggest eras of Dragon Ball as a series that I can see them buffing in these months. So July, I think we can get like an end of the month Buu Saga thing here. August, maybe they could do a GT thing. September, maybe spilling into October a little bit, they could do movies. And then in terms of other things, I do have two other things on the list here. The last one is, or the third one is Buu Saga. I don't know if them starting like this after party celebration with Super Vegito, the Ultra Super Vegito, is an indication that we're going to be getting like an actual like full Buu Saga celebration, because last year the after party was just Omega, and that was to follow up on the release of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. But it's possible what they could do here is for July, we could get, you know, the Super Vegito Platinum equipment, which dropped here. Next week, we could maybe get some kind of, I think it's going to be a Buu, if they do a Buu Saga related character here. Probably some kind of Ultimate Gohan LF character, Super Buu, you know, something like that character here. to finish out July, but it is possible that they bridge this into an actual full Boo Saga celebration, but I don't know what they would do for that. I mean, the only character besides Boo and what we received last year that we don't have like full representation for is the Super Spirit Bomb, and I don't know if they would do that as just like a monthly LF at this point. That to me is like a special moment where I think that moment for sure deserves some kind of like Ultra Namek Goku treatment. So I don't know if I would say, okay, yeah, they're gonna do the Super Spirit Bomb as a monthly LF character, but they can definitely look at Boo Saga and pull stuff from it, because the Boo Saga is just straight up the biggest saga with the most characters in it. Like if we just pulled the Boo Saga, look at this, look how many characters are in the Boo Saga team or the Boo Saga tag. Like there's a lot here. Maybe like a platinum equipment for Kid Boo would be really cool. Some kind of like transforming Boo character. Yeah, but there's a lot that they could do with Boo Saga stuff. So they definitely could make that into a celebration as well. And then the last wild card I have on here is anime originals. And I have in parentheses some kind of Bardock. Bardock is a character, like let's just refresh this. Let's do like Bardock. Bardock is a character we haven't seen given representation in a very, very long time, right? We had LF Bardock. This guy dropped in 2021, right? I'm pretty sure it was 2021. Was it? Bardock. No, this was 2022. Bardock dropped. Because this guy dropped right after Legends Fest 2021 ended. So this guy is 4.5 years old now. So we had this guy drop in the beginning of 2020. No, this guy's 3.5 years old. This guy dropped in the beginning of 2022, 3.5 years old. And then we got this character at the end of 2023. So these guys are about to be 2 years old. And this isn't even like a standalone Bardock. This is a Goku and a Bardock Game Originals character. But, you know, where's the Bardocks? Bardock is he's a very popular character. And I don't even think we need a Super Saiyan Bardock. They could give us an LF version of Bardock like this. The original just base form Bardock that rebels against Frieza. I think this guy's certainly deserving of an LF character without him needing to go Super Saiyan like this one does. But yeah, I mean, 3.5 years old for this guy, almost 2 years old for Goku and Bardock. That's a long time without a Bardock, who's like one of the more popular characters. So that's a Game Originals anime original character I could see. Another one that comes to mind is like Goku versus Pikkon. No, Pikkon is certainly a meme in this game, but maybe some like Super Kaioken transforming Pikkon thing could be interesting. And then the last one I have on here, which would definitely not be like a major release, but if they did like a mini celebration focused around anime originals, like I could see them potentially doing like LF Bardock, middle of the month LF, end of the month Mega Rising Goku versus Pikkon, and then like maybe the free-to-play character or something they could do for that is from Yo Son Goku and Friends Return, which is not in the game. That's the Abo and Kado thing. We could maybe get like a free version of Abo and Kado from that. I don't know. I just, they could kind of make that into an anime originals monthly thing, which certainly wouldn't be super hype, but I think just like a base Bardock could be pretty cool. But that pretty much is what I'm thinking we could see here. And I'm mostly going by what we haven't seen buffed in the past year, right? So let's just go through the timeline of Dragon Ball. OG Dragon Ball. We did have an OG Dragon Ball celebration recently. Unfortunately, I don't think they did a very good job with it. So, 0 for 2, third time's the charm. Maybe the third time around they'll get it right. We'll see. So we have OG Dragon Ball covered, at least for the time being. Then we go into DBZ. We have the Saiyan Saga covered from the anniversary. We have the Frieza Saga covered from the anniversary. There's definitely a lot more they could do with the Frieza Saga. They didn't do everything. But the major part, obviously, the Double Ultras, they kind of did what they needed to do, I think, for the Frieza Saga for now. Cell Saga. We did get a Cell Saga celebration in February. We got the Instant Transmission Goku. We got the Ultra Perfect Cell. Again, Cell Saga, they could do more, but for now, I think we have it covered. Boo Saga. We did a lot of it last year, but there's some stuff that they could pull, and especially now that we have the Platinum equipment for Super Vegito, I think, some kind of LF Boo character would fit really well right now. So that's what I'm expecting here. GT, nowhere to be found. It's been a year since the last GT buff. Again, they did a lot of GT. They covered a lot of the GT series last year in terms of coverage of characters. But there's, very obvious holes in what they gave us for GT that it's very clear that they're saving some of those characters. And I think that's one of the obvious picks that we can see this year. Super. This is kind of where it gets interesting. Battle of Gods. I mean, last year we did get God Goku versus Beerus as part 2 of the anniversary. I don't know if they would go back and give us a new version of God Goku, but Beerus I could see, but I don't know where Beerus would fit in like a celebration. I guess he could kind of just be thrown into a movie celebration. If they did a movie celebration, they could give us a new Beerus through there. I guess that could work. Resurrection F. Last year we did get an Ultra Golden Frieza, but actually I think a blue Goku and Vegeta from Resurrection F is certainly on the table for sure. Then we have the Universe 6 for 7 arc. This is actually an arc that I really have wanted to see a Blue Kaioken Goku from, like an updated version of him, for a long time. The reason why I don't think it's going to happen is because I don't think they would have given Ultra Hit his platinum equipment if they had that in the works, right? If they were planning on doing a Universe 6 versus 7 kind of like mini celebration, they probably would have saved this guy's platinum equipment for that specifically. So I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm waiting patiently for a Blue Kaioken Goku from this fight. The Goku Black saga, we kind of got most of that stuff, but certainly Goku Black and Zamasu as a tag character, we need that. I don't know why they're taking forever for that, but we recently got a Goku Black. We recently got a Vegito Blue transforming character. We recently got Fusion Zamasu. So I think for now that's probably covered. Universe Survival Saga, we just saw part of the anniversary cover that. And that kind of is it, right? That leaves movies, which is a huge thing, but movies for sure is on the table, and then some of Boo Saga left. So that's why I came to the conclusion that GT, movies, and then Boo Saga, and maybe some anime original stuff, I think is certainly on the table for the near future through the end of the year before we move into Legends Fest here in terms of the next few months of what they could cover in the game. So let me know down below what you guys think we could see over the course of the next few months. What kind of tags / characters do you guys want to see represented in the game soon? Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one.